I think everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal. And the deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It could be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal. And if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long. Because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal. I believe certainly the people of Ukraine want to make a deal. They've suffered more than anybody else. We talk about suffering. They've suffered.
This is my video update on this Tuesday afternoon, March the 4th, coming to you from Athens, Greece. Let's talk about some news. And let's start things off with the joint address to Congress, which will be taking place this evening. Not a State of the Union, though similar, if not exactly the same thing, but technically it is called a joint address to Congress, the speech that Trump will give this evening, addressing both chambers of Congress, the Senate and the House. And Trump is teasing that something big will be announced. That is what he is saying, or at least that's what he is posting on Truth Social. He said, "Tomorrow night will be big. I will tell it like it is." That's what he posted yesterday. So this evening, we are going to get something big. Trump is going to tell it like it is. He also posted on Truth Social, "The only president who gave none of Ukraine's land to Putin's Russia is President Donald J. Trump. Remember that when the weak and ineffective Democrats criticize and the fake news gladly puts out anything they say." So what is Trump going to talk about this evening? What is going to be the big announcement? I will tell it like it is. Is it going to be Ukraine, Russia related? Is he going to announce some sort of sanctions relief for Russia? Is he going to announce military aid stopping to Ukraine? Is he going to announce that he's dropping the green goblin? Is that what he's going to announce? Is it going to be something connected to NATO or to the United Nations? A lot of rumors suggest that Trump is going to say that the U.S. is pulling out of NATO and pulling out of the UN. I can't see that. I can't see that happening. Even if he were to pull out of NATO, I believe that, and the United Nations actually, I believe that this is something that would need the approval of the House and the Senate. Definitely the Senate, right? Maybe he's going to pull out of NATO or announce something like that. Boy, would that drive the Warhawks, the Europeans, CEO Mark Rutte. That would drive them crazy, man. That would drive them crazy if he announced something like that. I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe it's not even connected to Ukraine and Russia, to NATO and all of that stuff. Maybe it's going to be something else that he's going to announce or tell it like it is. We'll see. We will see this evening. Maybe he's just teasing. Maybe Trump is just trolling and teasing so he can get people's interest so that they tune into the speech that he's going to give. That's also possible. We do have some big news with regards to military aid to Ukraine. That has been suspended, not blocked, not called off, suspended for now. Military aid to Ukraine has been suspended. This is confirmed because we are getting reports which claim that the Trump White House has even notified Russia on the suspension of military aid, or at least they've notified TASS news agency of this suspension, confirmed it, that it has been suspended. And you have the Wall Street Journal, you have Reuters, the New York Times, Bloomberg. They're all reporting that military aid to Ukraine has been suspended. According to Bloomberg, the freeze affects the equipment already designated for delivery, including weapons in transit on aircraft and ships or waiting in transit areas in Poland. The suspension will stay in place until Trump sees that the Ukrainian leaders demonstrate a good faith commitment to peace, Bloomberg said, citing a senior Pentagon official. According to the New York Times, the order takes effect immediately and affects more than $1 billion in arms and ammunition in the pipeline and on order. The president has been clear that he is focused on peace. We need our partners to be committed to that goal as well. We are pausing and reviewing our aid to ensure that it is contributing to a solution, a White House official told Reuters. The Wall Street Journal reported earlier on Monday that Washington has stopped funding new weapon sales to Ukraine and was considering freezing weapons shipments. The reports are that even ships and airplanes that were carrying weapons to go to the front line, to go to the Zelensky regime, were told to turn back or to go to Poland, and the weapons are going to stay in Poland, where they usually transit over to the border and to the Ukraine military. If you want to build trust in negotiations with Russia, you're going to have to stop the flow of weapons. That's obvious. But what the White House is saying is that they're doing this because the Zelensky regime refuses to engage in peace negotiations. That's the reason that they're giving. So if Zelensky wants the weapons to flow once again to Ukraine, if he wants the weapons flow to be turned on, then he needs to agree to peace negotiations. Is that how this goes? That's how it is, I guess. You want weapons? Agree to negotiate for peace. That's what's going on here. But it's going to be hard for Trump to restart the weapons again. All the momentum in the United States with MAGA, America First, even in the Trump White House, it's all towards winding down Project Ukraine, towards getting out of Project Ukraine, trying to find a solution to Project Ukraine. That's where all the momentum is. So it's going to be really difficult for Trump to come back and say, yeah, I'll start sending weapons to Ukraine again because Zelensky said he's going to negotiate. I'll start sending money to the Green Goblin again because Zelensky said he's going to negotiate. How do you even trust Zelensky anymore after everything that's happened over the past couple of weeks? After everything that went down in the White House, how do you trust this guy? Trump was speaking to the media yesterday, and he said that the minerals deal is still on the table. But what the White House wants is they want a public apology from Zelensky. How can you do business with Zelensky, given everything that you know? I mean, you're business guys. You know, Trump's a business guy. You got Musk there. You got Vance there. How do you sign a deal with someone like Zelensky from a business perspective, given everything you've seen? You can't. You can't enter into business or into partnership with this guy. But Trump said that the minerals deal is still on the table, but he wants a public apology. Can you imagine that? There's a part of me that actually wants to see Zelensky apologize in public, I have to admit. There's a part of me that would like to see that, even though I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he'll do it, but it would be interesting to see. Then again, he is an actor. I guess if he's given the script, and the script says, okay, you're going to have to apologize in public to Trump. So it'll be some sort of video apology, I guess. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Zelensky, you can cry a little bit, right? Maybe shed like a couple of tears as you're apologizing. I mean, he's an actor. He's an actor, but I just don't know if Zelensky has that kind of range I mean, he's a comedic actor, but does he have the range to cry? As he's delivering lines, does Zelensky have the range to cry? I don't know. I don't know. He can dance in high heels. He can play the piano with his pee-pee. But can he cry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. Please forgive me. I don't know. I don't know if he's got it in him. Maybe we'll find out. But that's what the White House wants. They want a public apology. Yeah, humiliate the Green Goblin. I don't know. I don't know if he can do it. What do you guys think? Do you think Zelensky could actually apologize, even if it's in the script? He strikes me as the type of actor who if he got the script which says that he has to apologize to Trump, he's the type of actor that would say, no, I will not do it. I will not do it. Takes the script, throws it in the trash. I don't know. He gave an interview to the Associated Press the other day, and he said that a peace deal is very, 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 very far away in a galaxy far, far, far away. And Trump didn't like that. That's what he said. It's very, very far away, a deal. The Associated Press, Ukraine Zelensky says, end of war. Sorry, not peace deal. My bad. Zelensky says, end of war with Russia is very, very far away. Trump got very upset. Very upset. He posted on Truth Social with the Associated Press article attached. This is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky. And America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America's backing. And Europe, in the meeting they had with Zelensky, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without the U.S. Probably not a great statement to have been made in terms of a show of strength against Russia. What are they thinking? What are the Europeans thinking, President Trump? This is the million-dollar question. I'll tell you what side they're choosing. I can't tell you what they're thinking. I don't even know if they think at all. But I can tell you whose side they're choosing. They're choosing Zelensky's side over you, with the exception of Orban and Fico. All the Europeans, all of them, all of the collective West, including Trudeau, they chose Zelensky over you. That's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. Trump is not going to like that. He is not going to like that at all. So anyway, that's what he posted after Zelensky's interview to the Associated Press. Peace is very, very far away. An end of the war is very, very far away. Zelensky also said in an interview, this is according to Bloomberg, that he is ready to talks with the Trump White House. Zelensky says he'd meet Trump again for serious talks. He's ready for serious talks with the Trump White House. Ukrainian President Zelensky said he's willing to meet again with Donald Trump if the U.S. president invites him, but signaled that another White House encounter would have to be serious for him to make the trip. We are worthy of an equal dialogue, Zelensky said on Sunday after attending the summit. If the U.S. president invites him for a constructive dialogue to solve real problems, for serious issues, and real decisive actions and answers, I will arrive, he said. Well, how about that? How about that? Zelensky would do Trump the favor of traveling back to the United States of America and taking another meeting at the White House and signing the minerals deal, but only if Trump gets serious. That's right. If Trump is serious, then I'll do him the favor of visiting him once again and signing that minerals deal. But as equals. We have to be equals. Equals. Zelensky, Trump. Churchill, Trump. We have to be equals. Ukraine, the United States, equals. Not proxies, not puppets, equals. No one has told Zelensky that he's a puppet, right? No one has told him that he's a proxy, he's a puppet, he's playing a role, he's playing a part. It's just, it's an acting gig, right? Zelensky, no one's told him this. No one has told him that this is a role that he has been given. He's lost himself in this gig. He's lost himself in the role of the next Churchill. That'll be my clown world. But yeah, he wants a talk with Trump. And Trump has to get serious this time. No more joking around. Trump White House, no more joking around. Vice President Vance. Zelensky's done joking. Next time we meet, or if we meet again, you better be serious. Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing from Elensky. So we'll see what's going to happen with the suspension of military aid. We'll see what's going to happen with an Zelensky apology. Will the minerals deal eventually be signed? Can you even do business with this guy? So many question marks. Time will tell. Time will answer all of these questions. For now, this evening, we have a Trump speech where he's going to tell it like it is. Something big will be announced, and he's going to tell it like it is. Reuters is reporting that the Trump White House is looking to lift sanctions on Russia. Not all the sanctions, but some sanctions. White House seeks plan for possible Russia sanctions relief, sources say. You know what sanctions they're probably talking about, or they're thinking of lifting? Energy sanctions. That's the smart thing to do. If you want to start to bring inflation down, if you want to start to get the economy moving in the right direction, what you have to do is you have to lift those energy sanctions. Lift the sanctions on Russian oil and gas, the shadow fleet, the ghost tankers. Lift the sanctions on Russian gas and energy CEOs and officials, the companies that have been sanctioned in the oil and gas industry in Russia. You got to lift all of those sanctions. And then the United States can actually do business with Russia in gas and oil projects in the Arctic, maybe with Nord Stream, most likely with Nord Stream. They could be thinking of something. So those are the sanctions that you want to lift. Those are the first sanctions that you look to remove. And those are the sanctions that are going to benefit Trump, his administration, and the American people, and the world, really. These are the sanctions that will benefit the world. And they're going to have a quick effect on inflation and on prices. So that could be what the Trump White House is thinking of. That'll be a huge move if he does relieve some of the Russian sanctions. Once again, the EU is going to flip out. They're not going to like it. But who cares what the EU thinks? Commercial flights, as I said yesterday, you could resume commercial flights between the United States and Russia. That'll be a good move to make. That'll be very, very symbolic as well. So that would be something that he could do. Maybe he's going to announce all of this sanctions relief this evening. Bloomberg is also reporting that Trump is looking at Putin to help him mediate some sort of a deal with Iran. Putin agrees to help Trump broker nuclear talks with Iran. Donald Trump reportedly made his interest known directly to Putin in February, followed by senior U.S. officials discussing it with Russian counterparts in Saudi Arabia last month. So we did a video on this about 4 weeks ago on the Duran, and Alexander said that he has a sense that as Trump is speaking with Putin and as the United States normalizes its relationship with Russia and some sort of grand bargain is being worked out between the United States and Russia, one thing that Trump may ask of Putin is to help him mediate, broker some sort of deal with Iran. Trump's number one concern is Iran getting nuclear weapons. He doesn't want a war with Iran. Trump wants to avoid a war, but he's concerned about nuclear weapons. And there's one person that can help Trump talk to Iran. There's one person that can mediate with Iran, that can act as one country that can act even as an inspector to make sure and assure Trump that Iran is not getting nuclear weapons, and that's Putin and Russia. And Russia doesn't want Iran to get nuclear weapons either. It's in Russia's interest also for Iran to not get nuclear weapons. Saudi Arabia definitely does not want Iran getting nuclear weapons. Israel, of course, you have the issue with nuclear weapons from Israel as well, and Netanyahu wants to go to war with Iran on the nuclear weapons issue, and Trump wants to avoid a war, and Putin's your guy. Putin is your guy. So as Trump builds trust and dialogue with Russia and a normalization of relations, then Putin's the man. Russia is the country that can speak to Iran and can go back to Trump and say, look, Iran told us they're not going to obtain nukes. We're going to inspect everything. We'll even have people there on the ground. We'll make sure that Iran doesn't get nuclear weapons. It's in our interest as well for Iran to not get nuclear weapons. So we're all good. And Trump will say, great, thanks. And this could all be part of a big grand bargain, a big deal that could be in place between the U.S. and Russia. You see, the United States and Russia, they have so many issues that they need to talk about. And they have so many things that they can work on together outside of Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine is the top issue. It's the number one issue, of course. But they have so many other things that they need to deal with. And they need to be talking to each other in order to deal with these things, something that Biden refused to do. And everything just kind of snowballed out of control. So this is a huge deal. Alexander freaking called this, man, like 4 weeks ago. He called this. Amazing. And here we are with Bloomberg reporting that this is what Trump may ask of Putin. So that's big news. That is big news. What else do we have going on? I think that's everything. At least with Trump and Ukraine and Russia, all of that stuff. Let's shift gears and talk about the European Union. The EU, they were looking to pass a 20 billion euro military package for Zelensky, for Ukraine. And Hungary blocked this military package. It was actually a draft on security guarantees and military aid for Ukraine. And Hungary blocked this, according to Foreign Minister Szijjártó. The reason that Hungary blocked this 20 billion package is because they did not want to see Russia-US peace talks sabotaged. They didn't want to see this package hinder Russia-US peace talks. That is what Szijjártó said, hinder Russia-US peace talks. And that's what the European Union is trying to do. They are trying their very best to escalate with Russia so that they can somehow sabotage any type of normalization and rapprochement with Russia. They may actually steal the Russian frozen assets just so they can try to spike the deal between Trump and Putin. They may actually do that. That's how crazy and how desperate they have become. But good on Hungary for blocking this. I don't know if this will stop the EU from getting money to to the Green Goblin, because money that goes to Ukraine in effect kind of goes back to the kleptocrats and 10% for the big guys. So it's also in their interest to get money into the washing machine, or at least to keep the money going into the washing machine because it benefits them. But at least for now, this 20 billion aid package has been blocked. I would not be surprised if Orban called up Trump and told him about this aid package and told Trump, look, if I block this aid package, do you have my back? And Trump told Orban, you better believe it, I've got your back. Absolutely. Go ahead and block this aid package. Don't worry, I'll support you, Victor. And Orban said, awesome. Consider it done. But this will not stop the Empress, the Empress, Ursula von der Leyen, because she gave a speech this morning announcing the Rearm EU Defense Fund. That is what she announced. The Rearm EU Defense Fund. I like it. Rearm Europe is what she's calling it. That's what she's calling it. Rearm Europe. It's catchy. Very catchy. That'll look good on t-shirts. Rearm Europe. They're really good with the slogans. They're awesome with the slogans, the European Union. They're good at the rhetoric, good at the slogans, as long as it takes. Rearm Europe. Tatters, I tell you. Tatters. So yeah, that's what Ursula announced this morning. Rearm Europe. We're talking about hundreds of billions of euros to build an EU military industrial complex, an EU army, EU weapons factories, 150 billion euros. That's what Ursula is aiming for. And she actually said in her speech, as she was announcing Rearm Europe, that the goal is to unlock 800 billion euros in defense spending. This is Ursula's Mona Lisa of funds. That's what this is. This is her masterpiece of funds, because Ursula, she's good at one thing. She's very good at creating funds. Very good at creating funds. This is her Mona Lisa, her Mount Everest of funds. 800 billion is what she's hoping for in this defense fund. What is Politico? USAID Politico, what are they saying? Von der Leyen proposes new 150 billion euro common defense fund. Commission president announces Rearm Europe plan after U.S. President Donald Trump suspended all military aid to Ukraine. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Tuesday proposed a new common instrument to boost military spending across the European Union. She suggested allowing EU countries to draw up to 150 billion in loans as part of a 5-part plan to scale up defense spending. Speaking to reporters, she presented a Rearm Europe plan to unlock up to 800 billion of additional defense spending over the coming years. She outlined these ideas in a letter to national governments on Tuesday morning. Europe is ready to massively boost its defense spending, both to respond to the short-term urgency to act and to support Ukraine, but also to address the long-term need to take on more responsibility for our own European security, von der Leyen said today. 800 billion in loans. That's how they're going to do this, because all of the EU member states, they have no money, they're bankrupt, they're in recession. The EU, bankrupt, in recession, a complete mess in the European Union, but they are going to get this money through loans, through Eurobonds, perhaps taxing EU citizens, an EU federal income tax. That's what's coming. That's what she hopes is coming. That's the plan. Eurobonds, debt, EU federal tax, income tax. That's how they're going to raise this 150 billion, potentially 800 billion so that they can build weapons. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. But the fund is going to make a lot of people very rich. A lot of money is going to go into military companies. But will they be able to produce the weapons, manufacture the weapons? No, of course not. They're not. We've already been down this road 100 freaking times. The EU is not capable of doing these things. They're capable of creating the funds. They're not capable of making stuff. But Ursula, she's got a nice name to it. Rearm Europe. That's what counts. Sounds good. Rearm Europe. She's going to turn Ukraine. No, she's going to turn Europe into an indigestible steel porcupine. That's right. I'm going to make Europe into an indigestible steel porcupine. So if Putin wants to eat Europe, if he wants to eat Ukraine, it's going to be made of steel and steel needles. And it's going to be indigestible. It's going to give him a stomach ache. Oh, boy. Tatters, I tell you. BlackRock Mertz. He's got it in for Trump. The chancellor-to-be, BlackRock Mertz. He's blasting Trump for the way Trump treated Elensky. Trump upset BlackRock Mertz. You don't want to upset BlackRock Mertz. German Chancellor-designate accuses Trump of ambushing Zelensky. The clash between the leaders in the White House was manufactured by the U.S., Mertz has claimed. In my opinion, it was not a spontaneous reaction to interventions by Zelensky, but obviously a manufactured escalation in this meeting in the Oval Office, Mertz said at a press conference in Berlin on Monday, according to Euronews. The leader of the Christian Democrats added that he was quite surprised by the tone of the conversation in the White House. It was not helpful to the cause, he added. Not helpful to the cause. These people are maniacs, man. They are maniacs. They really believe that there's some sort of cause, right? The globalist cause? Is that what you're talking about, BlackRock Mertz? Or are you talking about the BlackRock cause? Or maybe the BlackRock globalist cause? What are you talking about, man? Was not helpful to the cause. Well, Mertz is taking Zelensky's side. Yep. Germany, man. Germany's got some real interesting leaders. Telling you. Piss off Russia, piss off China, piss off the United States. Well, you know what Trump has to do. You know what Trump has to do. He has to lift the energy sanctions on Russia. Then U.S. business and Russian business, they need to create a company. That company will then purchase gas from Russia, and they'll deliver that gas to Germany via Nord Stream 2 at huge margins, huge profits. Germany's going to buy that gas as well. They're going to buy that gas. They have to buy that gas. They have no choice. They'll have to buy the U.S. LNG. They'll buy the Russian LNG. And they're going to buy the LNG that moves through the pipeline, but it's going to be expensive. That's what Trump needs to do. That's Mertz. That's Mertz having a go at Trump, taking Zelensky's side. Trump is imposing 25% tariffs. Today, they go into effect against Canada and Mexico. Trump says Mexico and Canada cannot avoid 25% tariffs starting Tuesday. So that's happening. Let's see how that unfolds. The Trump tariff war begins. Now let's do some clown worlds, and we can wrap this video up because it is windy and it is cold today in Athens. So I was watching the video of Zelensky meeting Democrat Party leaders before he went to the Oval Office. And I have to say that the Democrat Party leaders in the House and the Senate, they actually consider Zelensky to be some sort of royalty. I'm telling you, Zelensky's shaking their hands and they're all bowing. Why are you bowing? He's Churchill. He's Churchill. He's the next Churchill. I don't get it. They're shaking his hand, and Zelensky. They're all lined up. They're all lined. These are United States of America senators and House reps, and they're all lined up, and they're greeting Zelensky as if he's the king of England, of Britain. I mean, what is going on here? What is happening? And they're all bowing down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice to meet you, Your Majesty. Ah, Green Goblin. Nice to meet you, Green Goblin. Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. The rumor is that they told Zelensky, as he met with these Democrat Party officials, for him to turn down the minerals deal, as he was about to meet with Trump, to reject the minerals deal, and to reject any of Trump's proposals. That's what they advised Zelensky. And it looks like Zelensky believed them. He took their advice. Hey, you want me to go into Oval Office and reject the deal? Yes, Your Highness, Your Honor, Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness. What you think, Podolyak? Good idea? It sounds pretty good, Volodymyr. Okay, I'll do it. Oh my God. Clown world, man. Spiegel has an article with the title. Spiegel's just saying what we've been saying. They're not printing it. I was going to say they're saying the quiet part out loud, but they're printing it. They're just putting it in writing now. They have an article with the title, 3 years after the invasion, the Churchill of Ukraine seeks a new role. For the last 3 years, Volodymyr Zelensky has been playing the role of a Ukrainian Winston Churchill, confidently defending his country with Western support. Now Donald Trump has flipped the script. So I read this very long article from Spiegel, which basically goes through the Zelensky timeline from his start as an actor in Servant of the People to becoming a politician and creating a political party called Servant of the People, winning the elections, dealing with Minsk and Putin, dealing with the Biden White House, the invasion, dealing with Harris at the Munich Security Conference, all the way up to his Oval Office meeting with Trump, the humiliation of Zelensky, the meltdown of Zelensky in the Oval Office. So it goes through all of this. 20 pages, I don't know, 20, 30, 15 pages long, I don't know. Huge article, man. Huge freaking article. The life story of the Green Goblin. But, the article, all it really says, it tries to compliment Zelensky and it tries to present him as this tragic Churchill figure. He was really Churchill. He really was the next Churchill. But now, because of Trump, he's become this tragic figure. But to me, as I was reading this article, all I was getting was that this is just an actor playing a role who's now been lost in this part. He's lost himself in this part. That's what I got out of this article. They told him that you're going to be Churchill. He said, okay, I'll be Churchill. And the method acting, is that what it's called? Method acting? The method acting has completely consumed him, and he actually believes that he is Churchill, to the point where Spiegel, they talked to some of Elensky officials, some of his aides and advisors, and they say that Zelensky has been completely consumed in this role. He acts like a spoiled child and a spoiled schoolboy, and he's been completely taken over by this part that he was given. It really was a part. It really was a role. He is an actor. He's an actor that is now lost. the Churchill, the next Churchill. Amazing, man. Yeah, they're going to throw Zelensky under the bus. The European media, they're going to try to push for Zelensky. Arestovich wants to become president, but they're going to push for Zelensky. You know what their greatest fear is? The UK, Germany's greatest fear, the Europeans' greatest fear is that there's going to be an election and that Trump and Putin are going to work out some sort of an agreement where a government in Kiev is put in place that is friendly to Russia. They don't want that, so they're going to try to push for Zelensky, the Zelensky solution. I'm going to stick with that prediction. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch. I am wearing a Duran sweatshirt right here on this cold Athens day. The link to the Duran shop is in the description box down below. Take care.